Coach Fjelstul, so great to see you. You and I have had an opportunity to have a couple of great conversations. One of the young men I work with, you've recruited and is coming into your program next year. Thank you for doing this.
Hi, Matt. Thank you very much for asking me. I'm humbled that you asked me, but nice to see you.
I can't imagine a better person to put on the podcast and interview. We talk about significance a lot in my world about it's not just about success. It's not just about winning. It's everything in between. It's learning how to do it the right way and learning and from your level, helping people become adults and really figure out who they want to be in this world. Is that why you got into it? Is that why you got into coaching?
I'm passionate about golf. We're a golfing family since I was born and raised, but I love helping people. And I have my whole life. And coaching is about helping young people finding their path, giving them direction, and helping them hopefully explain some things about life.
Yeah.
And so I like to be part of their lives and hopefully I help them.
Yeah. When you got into this, we just talked, both of us were about the same age when we got into college
Yes.
coaching. Did you know that's what you wanted to do? Or was it opportunity that you took advantage because it was golf? Where was your brain at that point? Do you remember?
Probably both sides of it,
Yeah.
but I played at Luther, graduated from Luther, and then Luther called and said, "Would you like to be the golf coach?"
Yeah, what a compliment.
5 years after I graduated. I was successful in my junior and college career, but I'm unique in a lot of ways. My dad played at Luther, and dad was a player coach his junior and senior year.
Wow, what a legacy.
Our family's been connected to Luther for many generations, but then when I was asked to be the golf coach, I'd played here. My dad had coached here, and I thought this was a good opportunity to help the college, but to try and build something significant.
Yeah.
And so it was exciting, and it still is exciting today.
That's great. That's so fantastic. When you look at your whole life, you've been on Luther's campus, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
your dad was
Basically.
Yeah. For me, it was co-college. My brother and sister are 14, 15 years older than me, and they went to co. And so that's why I went to co. I knew it from the time I was a baby. Co-college, I had pajamas that I wore out the knees from crawling in the hallways of co-college. What does that mean to you to be at a place that it's your alma mater, but it's part of your soul? What does that mean to you as you've done this for 39 years?
It's a great feeling because I understand the place so well, but I lived it my whole life through our family, all the way back to my grandma and grandpa's and uncle and dad and mom. But I have a great passion for the place, a feeling about the place. And I think I understand what the place stands for. And there's a lot of great colleges in the world.
Yeah.
I just really like Luther and what we do for our students
Yeah.
and our athletes. And I like my little part of it.
Yeah. I know you want more 70-degree days and so you can get out and get the guys and gals out playing this week.
Yeah.
But I got to talk about the snow at Luther.
No problem.
Is there a prettier campus when it snows in the country than Luther?
I don't think so. I think we're very lucky
Yeah.
because not everybody likes four seasons.
Yeah.
But Decorah, Northeast Iowa is a really pretty place. We've got rolling bluffs and a scenic area, and the snow is very pretty. I don't like it some days when I'm thinking about golf, but it's part of where we live. But a fresh snowfall on all the trees is just gorgeous. It's just like the fall colors of the trees changing.
Right.
the campus and the community is just a very neat place to be. And Decorah and Luther's kind of a destination.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really neat here.
I remember being 18, 19 years old and being on the basketball team at Co and pulling up the hill in a bus for one of our first road trips of my freshman year. And it just snowed 8, 10 inches. And I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was in a winter wonderland. It was so beautiful. I was like, why didn't I look at Luther? Why didn't I
Yeah,
check this place out? Yeah,
it's very pretty.
it is. Let's talk about golf. I could spend the next hour just getting you to help me with my pull and my swing so I can hit it straight, but I won't do that. I won't waste
No
people's
problem.
time with your expertise. But I do want to talk about teaching the game.
Yeah.
What is your approach? Because there's a lot of different approaches for golf. Just open up Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see everybody and their mother's got a way to help you with your swing. What is your approach to teaching the game?
You're exactly right that there's a lot of great tips, and every tip is the best tip in the world to make you the next superstar or play scratch golf. But my approach is to help our young guys get better.
Yeah.
And I am not a PGA pro, but I know a lot about the swing.
Right.
And I've got a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise. And I was fortunate to play really good golf. So I understand the golf swing. But I think also part of it is a mentality and the correct type of practice habits to help guide young people. I do not want to change anybody's swing, but we might fine tune a few things when we look, okay, we're going to get very analytical. What are we doing wrong, or where are we missing shots? If you're pulling it all the time, there's a couple things that you could look at that may be causing you to pull it.
Okay.
So I think there's ways to analyze the game of golf, and you don't have to make massive swing changes, but make sure we're in the correct setup, alignment, and all those types of things. So I think I have a good eye to help out people, and I love helping the guys.
I think you've got a really unique world of coaching that's different. It's a big reason I wanted to have you on is because you have so many kids that have been playing their entire life. They're coming in with scratch 2, 3, 4 handicaps, and they've played really good golf. So you've got to almost walk a fine line in terms of how you develop and when you speak up. How do you deal with that when kids are coming in with great experience and talent already, and you gotta get them 1, 2 strokes better?
You're exactly right. You've got to know when to say something
Yeah.
and when not to. And there's a point in time for everything in coaching. And every young man or every athlete handles that differently because they all have different personalities, of course. But you get to know your player, and it's just as you find the right time and the right moment that some insight, some coaching, just some tender loving care sometimes is important too. But I just see a little thing, let's work on this. I think that might be causing this situation today because I didn't see it last week at the tournament. Things like that. So I think golf is always analyzing your swing, analyzing what you're doing, but we want to have the right process and the right setup. So
Yeah. What's the old adage? Golf is played 99% above the shoulders, right?
yeah,
You
those
know,
6 inches between your ears. And so we work really hard on those 6 inches. And sometimes that's hard for an 18 to 20-year-old because they're maturing, they're going through a lot of things in life, they're away from home, they're living on their own. And so all those experiences of a college student play into it when you have an athlete
yeah.
that's trying to perform at a high level.
Are you amazed at what's changed with golf in the last 30 years in terms of the type of talent that's now playing at the Division III
Oh,
level?
It's amazing. I think all Division III athletes, and there was a thought years ago that Division III isn't very good, and
Yeah.
they're many steps below Division II or even Division I. But I think there's really good Division III teams in every sport, and they're very successful and they shoot good scores, both individually and as a team. And they're all around the country. They're in the upper Midwest, they're out west, Texas, the Southeast. It doesn't matter the weather or the location. There's just really good players and really good coaches. And I think a lot of Division III teams compete can compete or be very competitive, even beat
Yeah.
a school at a higher level.
Yeah.
I just think there's really good talent everywhere. The talent is amazing. It just blows me away because these young people work so hard and they have great families and great opportunities and travel to tournaments around the country and go on to a vacation, and it's a golf vacation for a week. That's a good opportunity to learn, to improve your game. And the young players today are just so good.
You've had an amazing career in so many times conference coach of the year, 13 times, and you're on this great streak of, you had 3 straight national tournaments. Have you found that you've changed over the years? Are you a different coach than you were in the early aughts in the 90s? Are you the same guy, or do you feel like you've really adapted and changed?
Oh, I think I've adapted and changed. I think that's just part of life. We
Yeah.
all change, we all adapt.
Yeah.
I think we have circumstances, we grow, we mature. I'm still learning, I admit that, but I love to learn. I love to study other successful coaches. And I think a big part of college athletics is the mindset. And that's a really big part of golf with those 6 inches between the ears.
That's Ain't that the truth?
So we work really hard on that. And I probably didn't 30 years ago. I think you can say the right thing at the right time
Yeah.
and the right words click with a player that maybe settles him down or finds his balance again or finds his confidence again after a bad hole. But I think we always change.
Yeah.
And I certainly think I have.
It's so funny. I always go back. I don't. If you watch the movie Tin Cup with Kevin Costner, have you
Oh,
seen that?
sure. Yeah, sure.
There's that scene where he's chili dipping and
Yeah,
he can't get the club
yeah,
where he wants it, and
yeah,
Cheech Marin has him change into the other pocket and turn his hat around. And
yeah, yeah.
you talked about working hard on that mental side of the game. Talk a little bit, if you don't mind. Give us some specifics on some of the things that you do with your team to get them to calm down in those pressure moments when you've hit a bad shot or you had a bad hole. What are some of the things you work on to prepare them for those opportunities and experiences?
I will get to that point in a minute if you don't mind. Let me
Yeah,
explain something.
please.
What I love about college golf, and we've just had some recruits visit the last couple of weeks, and not everybody understands this about college golf. A college golf coach can be on the course and give advice
Yeah.
and walk with a player. And that's one of the most passionate things that's part of me and who I am and what I stand for, because I like to be on the course with my players and help them in a situation if they're standing on the fairway looking between a 6 and a 7 iron. And but body language in sports is big,
Yeah.
and you can see it from 100 yards away, and you can see that confident look that somebody looks like he's in the zone and just doing his thing and very going along very smoothly. But you can also see bad body language, and that happens in every sport.
Right.
But I think golf is a very mental game because you have to have a clear head about yourself. And so I think I've known how to say some things to people that have been in the bad situation of they just made a double or they just three putted. And so you hit a bad tee shot because you're still mad about the last hole. So you're walking down the fairway And I've got all kinds of sayings for it, but most coaches do that. You have 10 seconds or you have 10 steps. Ted Lasso calls it be a goldfish.
That's right.
But it's on the scorecard. We can't change the past. You can't change the previous hole. So the sooner you get over it, obviously, the better. But that's a learned process. And I think 18-year-olds maybe aren't as good at it as 21 or 22-year-olds because it's a learned process and how you handle your emotions. But sometimes, first of all, a friendly face, walking with a player, being with a player, and just relaxing. And it's mom and dad are over in the rough. They came here to watch you, and they're going to love you tonight as much as I'm going to love you. So that's not going to change. So let's just relax. And would you take a really deep breath? just let's just slow it down for a second because I think athletes get ahead on themselves.
That's right.
And they get in a rush. But I think if we slow things down a little bit, and what always helps is, would you take a couple drinks of water? Just stand here and take a break.
That's right.
And golfers are real good about playing golf and not always drinking as much water as they should, or having a snack, having a banana, having granola bars, whatever. But I think a couple drinks of water just relaxes a person. And it's okay, now it's time to focus again.
That's right.
And now we're still going to have fun tonight when we go out for dinner. But the point right now is this shot.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing in the whole world. But you know what? We're going to go hit it, find it, and do it again. And it's a one shot at a time thing.
Yeah.
But golfers or athletes put so much pressure on themselves and they overthink. And probably really smart young people, great grades, great ACT, all of those things, but they overthink.
That's right.
And so making them relax and settle down a little bit because overthinking hurts performance.
I always think about my chiropractor when he has to pop my neck in a certain way and get me to relax. He'll say, hey, just drop your left arm, pop, and he pops my neck because I relax because I'm thinking about something else. And if somebody hasn't golfed, the things you're throwing out may seem simplistic, but really that's what you're doing is saying, you're not alone. Let's get your brain thinking about something besides that last shot. Let's take those 10 steps and focus on counting those steps. Let's focus on maybe 3 or 4 deep breaths and get your brain thinking about something else. So I love that mindset. Do you do anything early on in the season when you're indoors? And I know you guys have a great indoor facility. Are you doing some of that mental training then as well?
We do it almost weekly.
Yeah.
And we talk about being in the right mindset because I think it's a process and it's learned. And 18-year-olds are really good golfers, but I think there's still things to learn.
That's right.
And they can be very successful, but I think they can even be better with some things to learn. And this is a way to think your way around the course. This is a way to handle things. And sometimes you look out the window and you see all that snow, but it's really pretty. And you walk down a fairway and you see a beautiful scene. And it's like, I say once in a while, you could be home studying, but you look at this view and we're at a beautiful country club because we were invited to play in this tournament and we're playing a very nice golf course. Isn't this a pretty view? Just something to take their mind off of it for a second.
Right. Yeah. I love that. And I was like that. I needed that. So I love the fact that you get to be on the course and you get to be on the course with your kids and you almost get to be really what the value of a caddy is.
No doubt.
You're not carrying the bag, but a good caddy is keeping your brain focused on that next swing, right? And making sure you don't feel alone when those moments where, oh my gosh, I just hit one in the lake, I just hit one out of bounds, and I was right there, and getting your brain back to that. What's the development over those 4 years you have with a young man from 18 to 22? How does that change? I'm really intrigued by that. Do you see consistent changes from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior year?
Yep. And I also think it starts with our freshmen from the fall to the spring season. And probably every single coach would say this, when this new group of freshmen come in, they're excited and they have so much energy. They have to learn how we do things or what we stand for and what we expect. But they mature on the golf course and they mature in the practice habits and preparation to get ready for a tournament. And I think they're a different player in the spring.
Right.
And so that's really neat.
Yes.
You've seen that growth, and they're on their second semester away from home. And so they're managing all of that. It's really neat to see. And I just think that development from year to year, you can see the confidence of a sophomore, junior, senior walk in the door. Hey, coach, how you doing? Just a great young man from a great family has great confidence.
Yeah.
And it's really neat.
I always said, I was a basketball coach. I always said, if I could get a kid to really understand defense, and on the basketball court, defense isn't about chasing and effort. Defense is, again, it's above the shoulders. It's putting yourself in the right position and knowing when to put that effort in.
Yeah.
Do you see that second semester where maybe the relationship with you has gotten a little bit more relaxed, where now everything you've been telling them for that last 2 years as you're recruiting them, you're really that guy, and they're starting to buy
Yeah.
into it?
Yeah. And they understand it.
Yeah.
And they see it. And then they're around with all the upperclassmen that have lived it with me X amount of years. And so it's who we are. And I think that's a good part of the program that provides that. My leadership, my players' leadership, but we're always learning.
Yeah.
And 18 or 20-year-olds, they're learning too. They're learning things on the golf course to be a better golfer tomorrow or next week, or in the golf room during the winter months. And it's fun to see that growth and how they've learned and how it's helped them.
Yeah. It's so funny because Leo's coming in to play for you this year, and Leo went through that. He was the one or two guys, a freshman on his high school team. And I think this last year, the leadership part of that became more important to him than the playing, and getting the team to that level.
Yeah.
What do you see out of your juniors and seniors? Is there a thing that happens where they're accepting that ownership of that, of being the leaders and being the older guy, and understand? Is there activities or actions or words that you start hearing out of them that it clicks with you, they're getting it?
Yeah, I agree. First of all, I'm excited to get Leo, and I'm excited to have him come. That'll be fun. But yes, there is. And I think it's a confident body language, and it's a confident way they handle things
Right.
from on the golf course to in practice. And they've just learned, and they have found their spot. 18-year-olds are just coming in and excited, and the whole world is new. But a junior, senior has really found their spot, and classes are going good. They've got their
Right.
major. They're going the direction that they came to college for. And I think we have success in the golf program. And so it's fun to go to tournaments. And it's really fun to see that development, because I think it's confidence.
I agree.
It's a maturity.
That's true.
And you see an 18-year-old compared to a 22-year-old when they're getting their diploma at the graduation ceremony, and the things they go through and the experience and all the growth and the maturity. It's really fun to watch. it's fun to be part of that journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the growth that every young man goes through, and when they figure it out. With golf, it's such an individual sport, and I would imagine there comes a point in a young man's career where they realize, okay, yeah, I got to do my part, but I'm not going to the national tournament. We're not going as a team unless there's five of us that are playing at a high level. Do you see that transition where they go, gosh, I got to be more involved in getting us there, not just me there? Is there a point where that happens, where they make that mental shift?
I think it's different for every player,
Yeah.
but it is because I think we're pretty good. So we all need maybe to step it up a notch, or I need to help my buddy because this has really worked for me, and maybe I see something. And so it's teammates helping teammates, which is an important part of a team. I can talk all day and all night, but a young person has to still find that, and it's their work habits and the time they put in because I'm not with them every minute of every day. In golf, you can practice on your own, stay late, come early, all those type of things, but that happens in every sport. But I they find their place, and I think it's neat to see because they work really hard and they're so confident, and it's just really fun to watch and be a part of.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite parts of coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
If not the favorite.
Yep.
I could talk about that stuff all day too.
Sure.
I want to get into course management with you because we touched on it a little bit and I want to put a little
Sure.
bit more time into it.
Sure.
We're going to have a lot of people listen to this that maybe don't play a lot of golf, maybe have never played before, maybe are novice golfers and just go out and swing and go to Top Golf.
Sure.
How do you teach course management in terms of just the full aspect of how we're going to attack a course and how we're going to attack today's meet? What are some of the things you talk about with your guys?
So this is one of the biggest parts of who I am and what I do with my guys. I think there's a lot of young people that play really good golf, and I'm not going to criticize any type of golf management, but I think there's things to learn about golf management to help them get better. And so we work really hard on this. So before every single round of every single tournament, we start talking about course management. We have a team meeting in the hotel the night before, in the van on the way to the course, whatever. I've got the scorecard. I've been to the course before. The upperclassmen that played there last year remember the course. But the nice thing today is most courses are online, and everybody pull out your phone, pull out your laptop. And so we're in a motel room and we can see every single hole. The nice thing today is I can give yardage books to my players. And a lot of courses have yardage books available. And there's companies that have a 30 or 50,000 course database of yardage books.
It's awesome.
So I give my guys yardage books for every tournament. And so we can go through every hole shot by shot. And that's a mindset because it's a preparation that, if you remember, number 4 has that big tree on the corner. And invariably, I'll have an upperclassman. Now, you don't want to go there, guys. Let's go left. And so that comes from experience.
Right.
And I can talk all day about it. But when you have a teammate say, let's be careful on that hole, because if we make 5 pars, we're going to gain strokes on the field.
That's right.
That type of thing. So we talk really hard. And I say, all of you guys are big, strong, young men that hit the ball a country mile. Everybody hits the ball far today. And that's fun to watch. But take advantage of your distance when it's the opportune time. But at other times, you don't have to hit a driver. You can hit a 5-wood or 3-iron stinger or whatever the shot is. But let's play smart.
That's right.
And we just stress that a lot. And I'll invariably have a young man say, Coach, I'm going to take a driver up over the tree on 14, that dogleg ride, all up via the green. I said, okay, let's just think about this for a minute. So we go back and forth for a couple minutes. Think you really need to hit a 3-iron down the corner? Coach, I said, okay, go ahead. You make a par or you're walking home. So I make my point that however you get a par, as long as there's a par in the scorecard or a birdie, that looks good.
Right.
Nobody likes bad decisions after the round when we're analyzing it, because we analyze the round. Okay, so what happened in that whole stretch? Because I was with somebody else. What happened on those 3 holes? Bogey. You miss a putt, you miss a putt. But was it bad course management? Was it bad course decisions? Golf courses are set up to be played a certain way. And you can play smart golf all the time. And you don't always have to go for every par 5 in 2. Sometimes people lay up because they're really good at their wedges and they can hit their wedge within 15 feet and have a good look for birdie.
That's right.
But we talk about course strategy all the time, and the course management is so important today. Probably one of the biggest things that's changed in my time is the amount of time we talk about course management and how to play a golf course.
The average golfer is thrilled when they can get on a green in 2 or 3, and they really don't care where it's at as long as they get to putt. When you get it to the college level, and it doesn't matter what level, it's all levels these days, right, where you put the ball on the green is the difference between a 1 putt or a 3-4 putt, depending on some of the courses you're playing, and understanding the grain and the quality of that green. How much effort goes into talking about greens, and what do you do specifically before a round on the practice greens for your guys to maybe cut 2 or 3 putts around?
Yeah, that's a very important part of course management. And you have a yardage book, and you can see the green, and the yardage books today shows you slopes. Fantastic. And there's arrows on where the slopes are and what direction that part of the green is sloping towards. And so we can have a strategy that the best spot to go is 25 feet left. I want to go and attack the pin. Okay, but if you're short-sighted or the creek on the right or whatever might bring in too much trouble. Tiger was really good for his whole career at hitting it between 20 and 40 feet.
Yep.
He played smart golf just like Jack Nicklaus. They hit it to the fat part of the green, and they let everybody else make mistakes. Well, they have won the 2 most major championships in history by playing smart golf.
Yes.
And we talk about playing smart golf. And if they don't play smart golf, they're mad at themselves because they made that decision. But that happens in life. That happens in sports. On the second round tomorrow, that's not going to happen. They're going to play smarter on that hole tomorrow.
That's right.
Because of a mistake that's made. But the greens are very important because nobody likes the 3-putt. You want to have a chance for birdie. But I'll take a 25-foot birdie putt from a good angle compared to an 8 or 10 or 15 from a terrible angle.
That's right.
And it's straight downhill. And if you don't touch the cup, you're 8 feet by. And it's, okay, what do I do now? We probably should have been, no, but you can't be critical in the moment.
Yeah.
But that's a learned thing after the round when we have a team meeting that night. What mistakes did we make today that we can learn from to get better tomorrow? But college golf is about wedges and the green and putting and the short game. And so analyzing all that is so important to be in the right spot on the green and be in the right position.
So true. It's so true. And if it's downhill putt, the odds of you getting there in 2, if you don't hit it and score it, that 18-foot putt might be 18 feet coming back. if you
Right.
don't hit it. So I love how you're talking about that. Coach, you've been doing this a long time. Over the last 30 years, you guys have either won the conference or been second in the conference so many times. The consistency of your results are simply amazing. What what separates what you're doing? And I don't mean to get you in a comparison with other coaches in your league, but what do you think you're doing that's different, that's allowing you to compete at those levels year in and year out?
We have really good coaches in our league, and they're all great guys, and
Yeah,
they do a good job. I just like us. I like us. I like what we do. I like what I provide and the direction I give my players. And so that's what I like to talk about and who we are. And I think we have good game plan. We have good management. I think I know the right thing to say at the right time
yeah,
from all of these years. There's so many good college golf programs. I just like us, and I like the opportunities we provide. And a lot of people care. I really care. And I don't mean anything against anybody else. I really like my guys. And there are more sons of me.
yeah.
Ann and I have two boys. Ann really has three boys in her family. But then the guys come up in the fall and we have more sons every
That's
year.
right.
I just really care about my guys and I love what we do and what we offer our players.
I know
Simple.
how humble and modest you are, but I'll tell you this, Coach, getting able to talk to you on the phone a few times and then getting to see you and have this conversation today, I would have loved to have played for you because you don't get too high, you don't get too low. I know what I'm going to get from you. I know whether I just double bogeyed the last hole or I birdied it. You're going to keep me here. You're going to keep me on that plane. And I think that is such an advantage for the young man in your program when they know what to expect from you. They know that if you throw an 88 out there, you're still going to love them. You're still going to coach them the same way. And I think that's what makes you really special, Coach. And so that's why it's fun for me to hear you talk about coaching.
Thank you. It's very important for me, but that's who I am. And
Yeah,
that's the way I've lived my whole life. And I think that helps my players.
absolutely. I want to do a little rapid fire with you. I want to do some fun questions with you if you don't
Okay.
mind. And
Sure.
just to get you thinking first thing off the top of your head, what's the favorite golf course you've ever played?
Pebble Beach.
Pretty great choice.
Yeah.
Bucket list course you still want to play?
Augusta National.
The challenge of getting on there, man, is something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure.
You got to know somebody.
Yeah.
If you could play around, this is a cliche question. You could play around with three golfers in history. Who's your foursome?
A lot of people today would say probably Tiger. I'd say Tiger, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer.
Yeah,
But I'd like to have my dad with me.
yeah,
I'd have to have a fivesome.
yeah. I hear you there.
So there's a lot of great people.
Yeah,
Uh, I
I
think
like.
that
I
that'd be
might
really
bring.
neat.
I might bring Bill Murray in too, just to keep it fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Three people that have shaped the game of golf, and Mr. Palmer taught people how to be a professional
Yeah,
and how to be a gentleman. But everything all three of them accomplished in their life is really neat.
yeah, yeah. I'm with you there. I've been a huge fan of Arnie as long as I've been alive, and my follow through is very Arnie esque. Jack and Tiger Swing are so classical, but Arnie was more my type of swing that I loved. This is a baseball question, but we're going to turn into a golf question. If you had to pick one song to step up to that first tee with, what would be your walk up song?
Oh, there's pressure here. I'm not very good at this.
Do you have a favorite band if you had to go to a concert or a singer that you like?
I don't. If Anne's here, she can rattle them off and make my choice for me because whatever she says is correct. But there's a lot of great songs. It's probably weird, Matt, but um, years ago, Kool and the Gang had the song Celebration.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was iconic when it came out.
Yeah,
And I think the opportunity to play golf and to play a tournament and to play a really nice golf course is a celebration.
I agree.
And I instill that in my players that
I
we've got a
love it.
great opportunity.
Good choice. Hardest course setup: the wind, the rough, or the fast greens? What would you throw out if you could?
Yeah, probably the wind, because you might be 200 yards away and you think you know what's happening down at the green,
Right.
but it might affect the ball a lot more than you realize. Fast greens, you just have to learn how to putt on them. And rough, you just have to be smart.
Yeah.
And you might have to just lay up and hit the next one on the green.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a mindset.
Yeah.
You got to accept things on the golf course, and not everybody accepts things. But
Agreed.
the wind is really difficult, and um, so that's really hard to judge.
Yeah. That's why if you win the British Open, you've done something. You've done something special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
What's the most underrated skill in college golf?
Good question. Um, oh, there's probably five answers.
Give me the one that comes to your head first. What's the one that the kids that really have done well for you, they get it. They work on that skill.
Wedges,
Yeah.
wedges.
Yeah.
And we
It's
stress that a lot.
yeah.
And if they've got their wedges dialed in, they're going to take advantage of their position on the golf course. And we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
And I've had many players that have just hit many wedges, and their game has just improved immensely. And so it's fun to see a wedge shot
Yeah.
go where that person's aiming.
This question, you may have just answered it, but is there one piece of advice you'd give a freshman coming into your program?
Like I told a couple of recruits in the last couple of weeks, most young people hit the ball really hard and hit it really far. And that's great. I love distance. Strong young men are fun to watch, but we're going to work really hard on shots from 100 yards and in.
Yeah.
And 80% of our practice. And so our young players coming in every fall, I hope they work really hard all summer on 100 shots and in, chipping and putting. And then they do it again. And then they do it again. And then they start putting.
That's right.
And a good consistent putter will carry you a long ways.
Yep.
In the 100 yards and in is very important.
Love it. Love it. Coach, thank you so much for doing this. For those listeners, come back on Monday. If you'll have me, Coach, we'll do about 15 minutes on recruiting and give those families out there that are looking to play college golf some advice and give them some direction. But thanks for doing this today. It was a pure joy for me and pleasure.
Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate you asking me. It's fun.